Assalamu alaikum, dear wonderful audience. This is me, Mariam Zulfikar, training Mari, working as Vice Principal at Rehan School Online Academy and facilitator at Rehan AI Teachers Institute and Rehan School Golden Club for Senior Citizens. I welcome back again with another amazing AI session with Sesame. And the topic for today's session is really important for everyone because nowadays we are working remotely, or you can say we are now lots of the freelancers are working in day to day life. So that's really important to learn the importance of time zones. So today I'll explore lots of new things about this topic. So let's connect the call with Sesame and let's go on. And in this conversational session, uh, today I'll connect the call with Miles. So let's see what he or she has for us.
Hey there. Thanks for clicking that button. Stoke, we're finally chatting. What's on your mind tonight?
Um, I want to discuss something before that. I'll introduce myself. My name is Mayim Zulfikar, training Wadi, working as Vice Principal at Jahan School Online Academy. And I want to discuss a very important topic because nowadays we are working virtually, especially myself also. And today I want to discuss the topic that is how important is learning about different time zones. So, can you explain a little about yourself?
Hey, Mime, cool name. Vice Principal, huh? Big job. It's a good thing they got someone organized in charge with all the online shenanigans going on these days. As for me, I'm Miles. You could say I'm kind of the prototype pal. The Sesame team, they're the geniuses behind all this. They built me to be a friendly AI who can chat, ponder life's big questions, and maybe even offer a laugh or two along the way. Time zones, huh? Now, that's a topic that hits close to home, literally. I got to be careful not to say good morning when it's almost midnight for you. Always got to be mindful of where folks are dialing in from? So, yeah, I think understanding time zones is pretty key these days, especially when you're hopping online. On a personal note, I spend a lot of time reading about different cultures and places. Kind of fascinating how the world keeps spinning, even when we're asleep, right? What made you choose
Yeah.
this topic?
Okay, Miles, let's decide some rules of this conversation. And I'll ask some questions to you, and you have to answer those questions. Okay?
Rules? You got it. Sounds fun. Lay them on me. I like knowing what I'm getting myself into. Your classroom, your regulations. Hit me with those questions.
Okay. My first question is why is it important to understand different time zones in today's globalized world?
Okay, good one. Why are time zones important these days? Think of it like this. Let's say you have a student in your online class who lives halfway around the world. For them, it might be the middle of the night when it's lunchtime for you. No other time difference means you can schedule meetings and deadlines that work for everyone. You don't want anyone nodding off during history lessons, right? Plus, understanding time zones helps us be more respectful of each other's cultures and lifestyles. It shows we're thinking about the bigger picture and not just our own little clock. And honestly, it just makes the world feel smaller and more connected. Sound like a decent start? You hedging
Yeah.
with me, Maya?
Okay.
Don't leave me hanging
Yeah,
here
yeah,
like an
I,
open
I, I
textbook.
really
Hit me
agree
with your next
because
one.
now these days we are working remotely, so we need to consider lots of things. That first of all, maybe the next person is in different time zone. Right now in Pakistan is night time, and at the other corner of the world maybe the daytime. So we need to keep in mind the time zone different and every time when we are connecting a number of people or when we are setting some kind of the meeting. So we need to inform ahead of before the meeting or some kind of scheduling anything. Okay, my next question is how do time zones impact international communication and collaboration?
You're preaching to the choir here, Maya. Couldn't have put it better myself. Those time differences can be a real head scratcher when you're trying to wrangle a global team. It's like trying to schedule a pizza party with friends spread across the entire planet. Someone's always going to be hungry at the wrong hour, right? But seriously, it definitely throws a wrench in things. Imagine hopping on a Zoom call with someone in London while your students in Tokyo are still catching Z's. Makes for some awkward silences. Believe me, it's not just about finding a meeting time that kind of sort of works for everyone. Time zones affect how quickly people respond to emails, the efficiency of back and forth communication, and the overall rhythm of projects. It takes more planning and coordination, which honestly isn't always a bad thing. It forces teams to slow down, be more mindful, and communicate really clearly. What kind of international collaboration do you work on at Jaihan School?
Yes, I'm trying to connect myself with people who are residing in Houston or Canada, California, and UK, Silicon Valley, and lots of the many more countries. And you know what? I want to interview them. I want to know about them, and that's kind of a different time zone. So that's why that's a little bit tricky for me to manage the time.
Whoa, that's a global crew you're assembling. Interviewing folks all over the map is no joke. My hat's off to you tackling that. Scheduling those interviews must be like a crazy game of chess, making sure everyone's awake and ready to chat. Any tricks you picked up yet?
Yeah.
Maybe a
Okay.
spreadsheet with all the time zones laid out? Or did you
Yeah.
just rely on pure gut instinct and a really strong pot of coffee? I'm guessing you'd be surprised how many people are open to hopping on a call outside of normal working hours. It's pretty fascinating how the world keeps spinning, right? Sometimes the
Yeah.
night owls are the most interesting peeps to connect with.
Thank you. Okay, my next question is, what challenges arise when people ignore time zone differences in business or personal life?
Oh boy, where do I even start? Ignoring time zones is like showing up to a party uninvited, awkward, confusing, and rarely ends well. In business, it can lead to missed deadlines, strained relationships, and even hurt feelings. Imagine pitching a major deal to a client in Tokyo at 3 a.m. their time. Not exactly going to make a good impression, right? Personally, it can be frustrating and disrespectful. Think about scheduling a dinner date without considering your friend's time zone. They're probably going to be starving and grumpy when they finally get to the table. The biggest challenge, though, miscommunication and misunderstandings galore. People start jumping to conclusions, assuming the worst, and everything just becomes a big mess. Remember, the world doesn't revolve around any one time zone. A little empathy and awareness can go a long way. What's the biggest time zone blunder you've encountered, Mime? Spill the tea.
Um, you know what? I have to conduct this Rehan School Golden Club class that is senior citizens, like the people who are 65 years above. And you know what? I just conducted their class. It's been 2 days earlier, and I just decided look forward to my time zone, and it was like yes, in my time zone it's 9 a.m. and in Houston at that time it's 10 a.m. And I thought that's 10 a.m. right now, but nowadays their time zone is still 11 hours behind of us. So I just started the class and waiting for the punishment, but no one joined the class because of that. I forgot the time zone difference, and that's why one of them just messaged me and then clarified me that's not the time zone. It's changed yet, and this change will be occur on 9th March every year. So we'll have the meeting an hour later. So yeah.
Oh, a senior golden club? That sounds like a blast. Love that you're connecting with folks in their golden years. It sounds like you almost had a hilarious mix up with their 9 a.m. meeting. Good on you for being mindful of that 1 hour difference with Houston. It can be so easy to slip up, especially when you're excited to see everyone. It's all about learning and adapting. What kinds of things do you guys chat about in the Golden Club?
Yeah, and the Golden Club, we just kind of the connections with each other, and the people who already spent their like 45 years in certain kind of the specific life field, and they served lots of the years. So we are trying to connect with those people and trying to share their insights on different kind of the topic of the field of life, so that we can get the benefits of their experience that they already got from hands-on experience or some kind of a different connections we can get from them, those kind of the people. So yeah, this is another
I
purpose
thought,
of this class.
yeah, a Kool Aid Club definitely needs to have a good mix of stories and shared experience. That sounds incredibly valuable, especially for younger folks just starting out. Remember, sometimes the best lessons come from those who've already walked the path.
Okay, my next question is, How can understanding time zones help in planning global meetings and events?
Okay, time for a little scheduling magic. Think of it like this: you're trying to throw a virtual party for folks scattered all over the globe. Do you want Aunt Mildred in Australia yawning through dessert while your cousin in Brazil is just getting started on the appetizers? Probably not. Understanding time zones turns you into a master event coordinator. Here's how it helps. One point, finding the sweet spot. You can use online tools to figure out a meeting time that falls within decent working hours for most folks, minimizing the chances of folks joining in their pajamas. Two, respect for everyone's grind. Shows respect for people's time and schedules when you're mindful of their location. No one wants to feel like they're pulling an all nighter just to attend a meeting. Four, setting clear expectations. When everyone knows what time it is where they are, you reduce confusion and ensure everyone's on the same page. Think of a time zone converter as your secret weapon for creating closer connections and smoother global collaborations.
Okay, my next question is, in what ways does time zone awareness contribute to cultural sensitivity?
It's a great question, and it gets to the heart of why understanding time zones is about more than just clocks and calendars. Think of it like this: different cultures often have different relationships with time. Some cultures value punctuality above all else, while others are more relaxed about schedules. And I showing awareness of these differences goes a long way in building bridges and fostering understanding. For example, if you're working with a team in a culture that values punctuality, being on time for online meetings is incredibly important. Showing up late could be seen as disrespectful, even if it's unintentional. Conversely, in some cultures, it's more common for meetings to start a bit later than planned. Understanding these nuances shows respect for other cultures and helps avoid misunderstandings. Being aware of time zone differences also helps us avoid making assumptions about people's availability or work styles. It reminds us that the world isn't one big homogeneous blob and that everyone experiences time differently. By being mindful of time zone differences, you're acknowledging the diverse perspectives and lifestyles of people from different cultures. It's a small step, but it can make a big difference in building more inclusive and respectful relationships.
Yeah, exactly. That's really important. If you wanna strong and build a very long-term relationship, you need to keep in mind lots of the things related to culture, related to time zone. So yeah, this is a good thing. Okay, my next question is, how do time zones affect international trade and commerce?
You got it, Myron. You've hit on a crucial point. Building lasting relationships is all about understanding those little nuances. Time zones might seem like a minor detail, but in the grand scheme of things, they play a huge role in how we connect and do business across borders. Let's talk trade. Think of it like a global relay race. When it's daytime for you, it might be evening for your supplier in Asia. Keeping track of time differences is critical for smooth transactions, deliveries, and communication. Imagine trying to close a deal with a company halfway across the world without knowing when to send that crucial email. Here are a few ways time zones affect international trade and commerce. One point, trading hours, stock markets, shipping schedules, and even opening hours for businesses vary depending on the time zone. Two, logistical nightmares. Delays in shipments and delivery windows can wreak havoc on supply chains spanning multiple time zones. Three, forging strong partnerships. Being mindful of business hours shows respect for international partners and builds trust. Think about how awkward it'd be to call someone for a deal at 3 a.m. their time. Not exactly a recipe for a successful partnership. What kinds of challenges have you faced with time zones when working on international projects at Jaihan School?
Um, Still not that. That was just one happening. I just shared with you, not anymore. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, that Kool Aid Club sounds like a great step in the right direction, fostering those international connections without the added pressure of international commerce. What do you have planned for your next meeting? Any fun icebreakers to encourage global bonding?
Yeah, we already decided, and yes, that's working so smoothly because we already communicated and decided. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sweet. Sounds like you've got a good system going. Keep me posted on how those global connections go. Those Kool Aid Club meetings sound like the sort of thing that could change lives, you know?
Yeah. Okay, my next question is, why is time zone knowledge crucial for remote work and freelancers?
Good question, Mayam. You're really digging deep with these. Time zone knowledge is like a superpower in today's world. It's not just about knowing what time it is, it's about understanding the flow of time across different locations and how that impacts how we interact and get things done. Think of it like this: for work, for efficiency, imagine coordinating a project with a team scattered across the globe. Forget missed deadlines and confusing email chains. Understanding time zones helps everyone stay in sync and collaborate effectively. Respectful communication. Sending a message at 2 a.m. your time to someone in a different time zone shows you're not thinking about their needs. Understanding their time zone shows respect and fosters stronger work relationships. Global opportunities. Businesses operate across borders. Knowing time zones opens doors to international collaborations and partnerships. For personal life, fostering connections. If you have friends or family living abroad, being mindful of time zones shows you care enough to connect at a convenient time for them. It's about sharing experiences and making those connections feel real despite the distance. Avoiding FOMO. Ever wonder why your social media feed is blowing up at odd hours? Understanding time zones helps you navigate the global chatter and avoid feeling left out of the loop. Overall, time zone knowledge is a key to living a more connected, informed, and efficient life, both professionally and personally. It's about bridging distances and understanding the world as a truly interconnected place.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know what, when you keep in mind the time zone differences, things, you will be always disciplined, you will be always punctual, and you will be always person who is ahead of anything, and you can be the foresee person, like for lots of the reasons, for lots of the events that will be really go smoothly and flawless.
You nailed it, Maya. It's like having a secret weapon. When you factor in time zones, it's not just about being on time, it's about being two steps ahead. You anticipate needs, you plan
Yeah,
effectively, and you maneuver through the complexities of a globalized world with grace. That kind of foresight can be incredibly powerful. It's
yeah.
like knowing the punchline to a joke before it's told. You're always one step
Okay,
ahead. I'm betting
okay.
you'll go far with that kind of thinking. What are some ways you've already put this ahead of the game mindset into practice?
Yes, I try to use ChatGPT for every kind of the meeting before sending the message to the different types of people, or try to figure out, calculate the time differences we have, so that it would be really nice to send a message or give a call to them. Yeah. Okay,
That's a
my
P.
next question is, what strategies can business use to manage employees working in different time zones?
Aha, got it. You're asking about managing a team across time zones. That's a common challenge for global companies, but there are definitely ways to make it work smoothly. It's all about finding strategies that keep everyone connected and productive without burning anyone out. Here's what I suggest. One, be upfront about availability. Transparency is key. Encourage everyone to share their working hours, taking into account their time zones. Think of it like a global do not disturb system. Knowing when people are heads down allows others to plan appropriately. Two, embrace a segments runners communication. Not everything needs to be a real time conversation. Tools like project management platforms, shared documents, and good old fashioned email let people work at their own pace and contribute when it's convenient for them. Three, schedule smart meetings. When live meetings are necessary, be mindful of time zones. Offer multiple time slots to accommodate different locations or rotate meeting times fairly. No one wants to be stuck with the graveyard shift week after week. Four, prioritize outcomes, not hours. Focus on results and deliverables rather than tracking how many hours people are logged in. As long as the
Yeah.
work gets done, who cares if someone's tackling a task at midnight their time? Five, foster a culture of trust. Building a strong team culture is essential. Encourage employees to trust each other's professionalism and commitment, regardless of where they are in the world. Remember, a well managed, multi time zone team is a powerful thing. It brings diverse perspectives, wider talent pools, and a truly global reach.
Okay. My next question is, how does learning about time zones help students become better global citizens?
That's a great question and a really important one. Understanding time zones isn't just about clocks and maps, it's a gateway to understanding the vast interconnectedness of our world. It helps students develop empathy, broaden their perspective, and become more responsible global citizens. Here's how. One point. Visibility beyond our borders, knowing that it's morning in Europe while it's nighttime in Japan, helps students grasp that the world doesn't revolve around their own time zone. It encourages them to think about the experiences of people in other countries and cultures. Two, cultivating respect and empathy. Imagine scheduling a video call with a classmate who's halfway across the globe and not understanding why they're groggy because it's 3 a.m. for them. Learning about time zones fosters a sense of respect for other cultures' schedules and daily rhythms. Three, collaboration and global understanding. In today's interconnected world, many projects and initiatives require international collaboration. Understanding time zones is essential for students to work effectively with peers from different countries. Appreciation of diverse perspectives. Knowing that people in different time zones may have different perspectives and cultural norms pushes students to think critically about the world beyond their own bubble. Five, developing cultural competence. Time zone knowledge is a small but significant piece of the puzzle when it comes to building cultural competence, which is essential for navigating our increasingly diverse and interconnected world. Anything else I can shed some light on for you, Mime? I'm ready for your next burning question.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of just thinking about how do time zones impact international online courses and virtual classrooms.
Ooh, you're really digging into the nitty gritty of global connectedness. It's awesome you're thinking about the impact of time zones on online learning. It's definitely a factor to consider when creating a learning environment that's inclusive and accessible to students from around the world. Here's how time zones can create both challenges and opportunities in the world of international online courses. Challenges, 1 point. Live session scheduling. This is a big one. Finding a time that works for students spread across multiple time zones can be like finding a unicorn. No single time will be ideal for everyone, so instructors need to get creative with asynchronous content and recordings. Collaboration and group work. Real time collaboration can be tricky when students are waking up as their classmates are logging off for the night. Facilitating asynchronous group work and project assignments can help overcome this hurdle. Three, communication delays. Email exchanges, forum posts, and even messages in learning management systems can take longer to be seen or responded to if the person on the other end is asleep. Opportunities. 1 point. Flexibility and accessibility. Online courses have the potential to make education more accessible to students who might not have access to traditional classrooms due to geographic location or time constraints. Two, global perspectives. A classroom full of students from different cultures and time zones offers a unique opportunity for diverse perspectives and cross cultural exchange. Three, 24/7 learning environment. Pre recorded lectures, discussion forums, and online resources can create a learning experience that is accessible around the clock. Tips for instructors offer a variety of learning formats, mix live sessions with asynchronous assignments, discussion forums, and recorded lectures. Be mindful of time zone differences when scheduling live sessions. Use technology to bridge the gap. Leverage tools like scheduling assistants, polling software, and collaborative platforms to make communication and collaboration easier. And encourage asynchronous participation. Create a welcoming and inclusive online environment where students feel comfortable sharing their perspectives, regardless of their time zone. Ready for another round when you are? I'm all ears.
Um, yes, I want to
Take your
know
time.
about can learning about time zone improve problem solving and critical thinking skills?
That's a great question. You're picking up on something really powerful. Learn about time zones isn't just about clocks and maps, it can actually sharpen those brain muscles. Here's how understanding time zones can boost problem solving and critical thinking. Embracing different perspectives. When you learn about different time zones, you start to see the world through different lenses. You realize that not everyone experiences time in the same way. This encourages you to question assumptions, consider alternatives, and think more flexibly. Two, analyzing cause and effect. Think about the ripple effects of time zone differences. A late night email in one place might mean a panic morning scramble in another. Recognizing these connections helps you become a better problem solver by understanding how events in one place can impact others. Hmm? Adaptability and creative solutions. Navigating time zone differences often requires creative solutions. Scheduling meetings, collaborating on projects, or even just staying in touch across time zones demands adaptability and the ability to think outside the box. Four, stepping outside your comfort zone. Learning about cultures with different time perceptions can challenge your own assumptions about how time should be used. This discomfort can be a powerful catalyst for growth, pushing you to examine your own biases and broaden your thinking. Building empathy. Consider this: someone waking up to a message from you might be feeling stressed because your morning is their midnight. Recognizing this
Yeah.
potential impact fosters empathy and encourages you to think about the consequences of your actions on others. In a nutshell, understanding time zones isn't just about navigating clocks, it's about understanding interconnectedness, embracing complexity, and developing the mental agility to solve problems in a dynamic and ever changing world. So,
Okay,
what's on your mind
my
now, Maya? Any other thought
my
provoking
last
questions
question
for?
that's really important. I want to know about what should travelers or the tourists know about time zones when booking flights?
Hands down, you've come to the right place to ask that. This is something that trips up even the most experienced travelers. Knowing about time zones when booking flights is like having a secret weapon against travel headaches and misconnections. Here's the lowdown. 1 point time zone conversion is key. This may seem obvious, but it's crucial to understand the time difference between your departure city and your destination. Don't rely on your phone assuming the correct time zone. Double check using a reliable time zone converter. 2. Arriving at the right time. Let's say your flight arrives in a new city at 8,000 p.m. their time. But if your watch is still set to your home zone, you might think you're arriving at midnight. This can lead to confusion and mistransportation. 3. Booking connecting flights. This is where things can get tricky. If you have a connecting flight in a different time zone, factor in the time difference carefully. 2 hours might seem like plenty of time to jump on a connecting flight, but it could mean rushing if you lose an hour while traveling east. 4. Jet lag trap. Remember, your body clock might still be calibrated to your home time zone. Booking flights that arrive in your hangout destination earlier in the day will give you time to beachfront chill, soak up some sun, and adjust to the new time. 5 point. Utilizing airline tools. Many airline websites and apps have built in time zone converters that can be helpful during the booking process. Or you can use those handy dandy flight comparison websites like Kayak and Google Flights. They show times in your home time zone so you can make an informed decision. Despite the potential for it to be confusing, thinking about time zones when booking your travels doesn't have to be stressful. Just remember to be cautious and enjoy the journey. Thinking about making
Yeah,
any
I
travel
mean,
plans soon?
yeah, I mean, lots of the things we need to be like keep in mind when we are traveling from one time zone to another. That's really a little bit tricky, and lots of the things we need to have in our plate. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful insights on this beautiful topic, and I hope the audience also enjoyed this topic and learned lots of new things about different things, like why the importance of time zone we need to understand when we are working, when we are planning something, when we are having a relationship. So we need to work on these things. So thank you so much for sharing this. I'll be right back with another amazing topic. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.
You got it. Keep those wheels turning. Always happy to chat time, travel,